What is the Open Photo Project? I'm here with Erika Capon from the Open Photo Project, who is the perfect person to answer that question. And I'm Cathy Martilli from the intimacydojo.com. Erika, can you tell us more about the Open Photo Project?
Happy to. Hi, Cathy. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's fun.
So the Open Photo Project is a collection of photos and stories of people who are in consensually non-monogamous relationships. So right now it lives online at the openphotoproject.com mostly. But as a photographer myself, I'm looking for other ways to share it with people. Basically, I meet with folks who are in different types of non-monogamous relationships and kind of over time photograph them in their daily lives, kind of in the everyday mundane details, whether they're cooking dinner or walking to work or hanging out with their kids or any other partners. And then I also talk with them and I record their conversations. So we have their voices talking about some of the challenges and wonderful things about their relationships, and then also some text when I put up little text excerpts of what they said as well.
That's beautiful. I love you normalizing something that a lot of people are afraid of. A lot of people don't know, and it becomes scary, or they might have just seen polygamy, which is a one form of an open relationship, but it has its own special features. But there's lots of variety, and I know a lot of people are nervous about it. I used to be really scared of it. I went looking for relationship help, and someone sent me to Reed Mahalka's website, and even though he had great information, he was talking about polyamory, and I was like, scary. And I think that it's good for us to, one, have different options for ourselves, but also not to be scared of something that's just a normal way to express ourselves.
I agree totally. And I do think from both sides of it, if somebody identifies as non-monogamous and they are comfortable in that identity themselves, that's great that they found that. But a lot of times then they might face stigma from the rest of their community, or in a job situation, or with custody issues, or many different things. So you hear that jet flying over my apartment?
I can't hear it actually. Erika's in New York City, so right in the hub of everything.
So I think it's great to just build awareness around the idea that people can choose to have this type of relationship, and it's consensual, and it's not devious in a lot of cases, to take away some of the stigma. But then also just within individuals searching for the right type of relationship for them. Yeah. I know many people who I've spoken with who are non-monogamous didn't even realize it was an option. Maybe they heard about it, but they were like, whoa, that's intense, that's not for me, that's scary. And because it's just not really presented in our culture as a valuable option that might make some people feel really comfortable and happy. And so a lot of times it's a lot of struggle before someone may come to that realization that that's what really works for them. And if you're trying to succeed in monogamy and it's not for you, it could be super hard and painful. And so I just want to help bring a little bit of light to that idea that people can choose their own relationships, and as long as everyone's safe and in the know with everything, it can really be a positive thing.
Absolutely. And I think the monogamy is perfect for some people, and that's great. I think it's also useful to know other things exist, but if monogamy isn't it's not how you're wired, there can be a lot of shame and feelings of frustration and failure, like, why am I acting this way? Why do I want this? Why do I long for these other things? Am I not loving the person I'm with? When you can, in fact, love the person you're with very, very much, but might be wired to have many loves in your life, or 2 or 4, or whatever it is.
Absolutely.
So, and I think
the skills to be able to realize that about yourself, and to talk about that with the people who you are involved with or who you want to be involved with, those are really valuable skills to just making you have a more fulfilling relationship life.
Yes. Well, and I love if you're talking about them walking the dog and having trouble getting their kids ready for school, just like everybody has. Like, I think it's really easy for us to other people, and it's like other people are different, but when we see they have the same struggles and problems that we have, then they just become another expression. It's not threatening. It's not trying to eradicate human existence or something.
Right. And I think that was a really big, and continues to be a really big part of how it became more socially acceptable to be gay and to live openly out as gay or queer, bisexual or whatnot. And it's because people would have a hard time with it and they would think it was weird or deviant in some way. And then they would realize someone that they know, someone that they're close to, and someone that they care about might be gay. And then it's like, oh, well, no, they're just people. Just I've loved them for years. I just didn't know that about them. And that's like somehow where that switch can get flipped for some people, because you make it a little bit more about the human, not about the behavior that's different. You know.
Yeah, and through understanding my own needs, I realized that I love open relationships. But 6 years ago, I had no clue, and it wasn't even an idea that would cross my mind. And I was funny. I was actually talking to one of my first boyfriends, and we struggled really hard because I think we were both open, we were both poly, and we didn't know it. And because we weren't fitting in that, we ended up breaking up. And we're talking now 20 years later, and we're like, wow, if we'd known about that, it might have been a very different way. We might have had a very different relationship and a different outcome. So I really love that you're helping people see different aspects of this, where it might be, wow, that part might be for me, or how they do that sounds great, but I don't want to do it that way. And it just takes the shame and stigma out of it.
I hope so. I really hope so. If it's doing that, that would make me very happy.
Yeah. So if you're curious, go to the openphotoproject.com and check it out. I love how respectful and caring you are. When I did my interview with you for the project, it was just you can tell you care about people and you want to help showcase different ways of being. So thanks so much for being that, Erika.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thanks for talking to me about it.
Sure. Leave comments below.